Welcome to another episode of America's National Parks Road Trip. On this episode, we are highlighting our second day at the Capitol Reef National Park in the beautiful state of Utah. On our Day 1 video, we highlighted the Cassidy Arch Trail. On Day 2, we focused on two more of the most popular trails in the park, the Hickman Bridge Trail, which is a relatively short and moderate trail, and then the Capitol Gorge Trail, which is an easy and relatively flat trail in the Canyon Gorge. There are a couple of trails that we want to point out and recommend, even though we didn't get a chance to check them out. First is the Grand Wash Trail, which is 2.2 miles one way, and it takes you through the Narrows, which is a pretty cool sight to see. And then for the more conditioned hikers, we also recommend the Old Wagon Trail Loop, which is nearly 4 miles round trip. It offers up a pretty intense 1,100 feet of elevation gain, but it's definitely worth the trek if you can manage it. We decided to start our day at the Hickman Bridge Trail, which is about 1.8 miles round trip with an elevation gain of 400 feet in a moderate difficulty level. First, we made our daily stop off at the Visitor Center to take advantage of the bathroom and for Kathy to get her National Parks passport updated, and then we were off to the trailhead. Today is Tuesday, March 2nd, day 2 of our National Park adventure in the state of Utah. Also our second day at the Capitol Reef National Park. Yesterday we did, what was that thing we did yesterday?
Cassidy Arch.
Cassidy Arch was yesterday.
Fabulous.
It was awesome. We hope you guys enjoyed that video. Today we're doing the Hickman Bridge, and we'll probably hit another trail on our way out. That's pretty much what we got cooking today. We're a little stiff, kind of feel like my legs were dipped and set in concrete overnight, but you know,
we'll get loosened up.
Not doing a little bit of stretching, can't help it. Oh wow. Anyway, we're gonna get it done, man. We'll hope to give you guys some nice perspective of this beautiful place here in the wonderful state of Utah. As we mentioned earlier, this hike is about 2 miles round trip and a 400-foot elevation gain. The majority of the elevation change is pretty much in about the first quarter mile of the hike. You go up pretty aggressively in the beginning, and then it kind of levels out a little bit. So the first 20 minutes or so is a little strenuous, and then it's not too bad from that point. And as most hikes that start at the bottom and work their way up, the higher you get, the more the canyon and the views just seem to open up to you. And this hike in particular just really seemed to open up into this vast canvas of mountains of a multitude of varieties. As you can see here, we're only about 15 minutes into the hike, and it's already starting to level out quite a bit. And then you kind of walk a little bit on this type of surface for a while, and then eventually you kind of get into the mouth of the mountains a little bit, and you're just surrounded by, you know, rock structures on both sides. What do you think, hon? This one?
No. That's
This one?
No.
This one?
Yeah, that's more our speed.
More my speed anyway. One thing that was unique about this trail was the sand. This is really the first time we'd encountered a lot of sand at Capitol Reef, and Kathy had to eradicate about a pound of sand from each of her shoes when we got back to the house later that night. So because we'd never actually researched any pictures of Hickman Bridge, when we first came upon this structure, we thought possibly this was it. So I must admit, as beautiful as this spot is, I think we were probably a little let down, but we were soon educated that we still had a little ways to go before we actually got to Hickman Bridge. we are. We're about halfway to
Hickman Bridge.
Hickman Bridge. This is what I was talking about earlier, where eventually the trail kind of just intertwines you with the mountains themselves. And I always look forward to that because you never really know what you're going to see around the next turn. Periodically we would stop, one, just to take it all in, but second, we knew we were getting close and we wanted to see if we could spot a glimpse of the bridge. And then all of a sudden we just turned the corner as usual, and behold, there it was. And as usually is the case when you first come across these trail focal points, they're from a distance, so you never really truly get the perspective of their size and enormity until you get a little bit closer. And this was, another example of that. So because the bridge is roughly at about the halfway point of this round trip trail, we decided to stop off and have a little bit of lunch to refuel for the journey back. The trail by the bridge is actually a large loop, so you actually get a little bit of a different terrain and viewpoint continuing around the loop on your way back as well, which is nice. So we just did the Hickman Bridge, pretty sweet, and I was pretty enamored by it, and my wife was too, but I think she's more enamored by the prickly pear cactus at this point.
Not a true statement.
But
I don't want to get poked by the prickly pear cactus.
We managed to do the trail today without getting derailed 2 miles out of the way, so I think we're gonna be in good shape when we get done here and
have more energy.
Yeah, we might actually be able to do 2 of them today,
I have confidence.
I was hoping with all this exercise I'd be burning off some of this belly fat, but I don't think the pizza and cheeseburgers we've been forking down at night's been helping much, but we're on vacation, so it's all good. Yeah. All right, we'll see you soon. On this map of the trail, you can see the loop I was referring to. It's recommended that you go counterclockwise around the loop for a better perspective of the bridge. The bridge is located at about the midway point of the loop. Now there is a spot here I want to bring your attention to right at the point where the trail veers left and heads back to the trailhead. There is an area to the right that only goes back about 50 yards, but it opens up into a truly stunning 360-degree view of the canyon and mountains for miles. So I definitely recommend you take that short detour and check out the view. So we just came from Hickman Bridge, and we had to stop at this place because honestly, this is just one of the most amazing, majestic spots I think I've ever been in all of our hiking adventures. We're just surrounded by these massive mountain rock structures, and off in the distance you can see the greener mountains with some vegetation, and even the snow-top mountains way off in the distance there, and this just massive gorge which has got the roadway, and there's a river that runs through there, and it just goes as far as the eye can see. Just these massive mountain structures, and such a wide variety of rock. It's just amazing. I think we've stood here for 10 minutes and just looked around at everything. It's really just inspiring. It truly is.
The story starts and ends too soon, but I know every word, and it goes like this, and it goes like this.
So we're on our way back down from the Hickman Bridge trail. Got probably, I don't know, a quarter mile to go. But as you can see, it's pretty amazing. We're gonna get another hike in today. First, we need a little rest and relaxation, so we're gonna get in the car and probably get on the scenic drive. We only went down about half of it yesterday, so we'll get you some more good footage. Yep. And then can't remember the name of the last hike we're doing, but
we'll keep you posted.
We'll keep you posted.
Peace.
Peace.
And it goes like this. And it goes like.
So after we left Hickman Bridge, we decided to head back to Scenic Drive and take the 4.5-mile drive to the end of the pavement. As I think we mentioned in our last video, this drive is just really scenic and beautiful, pretty smooth. It takes probably about 15 minutes to cover the entire Scenic Drive roadway.
April came, the garden grew, time moves forward.
Once we got to the end of Scenic Drive, we veered left onto Capitol Gorge Road. This dirt road is about 2.5 miles long and winds through the belly of the canyon, eventually ending at the Golden Throne and Capitol Gorge trailheads. The drive is amazing as you're just surrounded by these massive mountain walls. It is a windy and sometimes bumpy ride and can be a little challenging to those who are prone to car sickness. One thing I thought was pretty cool about this drive is The further you get into it, the canyon walls just seem to keep gradually closing in on you more and more till eventually it kind of drowns out the sunlight and kind of gets this dark, eerie feel, but it's pretty cool. Now, once we arrived at the trailhead, we had a couple of options. The Golden Throne Trail, which is a strenuous 4-mile hike with 700 feet of elevation gain, or the Capitol Gorge Trail, which is shorter and pretty much flat, unless you decide to hike the extra quarter mile up to the tanks, which involves some climbing. Now, this trail is pretty flat. It's almost like a dried up riverbed, and similar to the drive in. The further you get, deeper you get into the trail, the canyon walls just seem to get taller and they close in on you, which is pretty cool. Now, this trail will go all the way to Highway 24. It's about 2 miles. So you could do a 4-mile round trip. If you decide to turn around at the tanks trailhead, which is what we did, we actually went up to the tanks, but if you go there and back, it's about a mile each way, so 2 miles round trip. I don't know if you noticed the sign that Kathy just walked by, but it's a video surveillance sign. So if you look to your left up above, you can actually see a video camera, and then that wall just to Kathy's left. Apparently some of the early settlers in the mid to late 1800s engraved their names on this wall, which kind of led to vandalism over the years. So they put up a sign to not write or engrave on the wall. This is where we reached the turnoff to the tanks, which is 0.2 of a mile, pretty much all uphill. It's a little bit vigorous, but it's not very long. And the tanks are pretty cool. Unfortunately, they did not have water in them on this day, so we didn't get to see them in their full spectacle of grandeur. So we're on Canyon Gorge Trail, which is
in a gorge.
I think it's pretty cool. My wife's more a fan of looking down on stuff than looking up. She feels a little isolated in here, but just take a look around.
But most people would find this absolutely awe-inspiring. And of course, there is that element.
You can't really see behind us with the sun, but anyway, pretty cool, man. We went all the way to the tanks, which are these natural earth-formed, basically swimming pools formed in the rock, but unfortunately they were all dry today, so but we got some images of the...
But that was my opportunity to go up.
Yeah, they look like, right, they look like giant hot tubs with sandy bottoms and no water. And we probably got, I don't know, a quarter mile back to the car, still in the gorge. And kind of a cool thing, my wife wasn't a big fan after a while, but the Gorge Roadway here, I've never seen anything like it. You're basically driving in a gorge with these massive mountains on both sides, and it gets to as narrow as probably 20 feet at some point, but really awesome. But we got some good footage of that. Hope you guys like it.
And relatively easy walking.
Yep. So we'll leave you with a little shot of the gorge here. Easy hiking, so we've been a fan of that. Of course, I'm still breathing like I just ran a marathon, but that's how I roll. So this pretty much does it for day 2 at Capitol Reef National Park. I think that it was definitely one of our favorite national park experiences, and really thankful that we came when we did in early March. Kind of got lucky with the weather.
Oh, yeah, seatbelt time.
Anyway, we're looking forward to tomorrow. We got about a 2-hour drive back to our little humble abode in Circleville, Utah. Should be getting back there around 5:30. Appreciate you guys sharing in this experience with us, and look forward to posting our next national park video for you. So
this ride's a little bumpy.
Yep.
On the way in and the way out. Just go slow.
Try to hold your cookies in.
It's not really that bad, but you know, for those that have car sickness like myself.
It's beautiful though. I mean, it's like every turn you just can't wait to see what's around the corner. So
yeah,
definitely recommend it. And
it's its own journey on the way in and the way out.
We'll be sure to show you guys the map, the layout of the park, and kind of where we went, and you know, at least with our experience, give you some tips on where we think you should go if you decide to come out and check out Capitol Reef National Park. We give it 5 stars, but we pretty much give all national parks 5 stars because they're just awesome. But,
yes.
Yeah, we'll see you on the next adventure, everybody.
Yep.
All right.
Peace out from the DK Adventure Tours.
That's right. Bye.
Oh.
Thanks for watching, and remember, get out and help support and preserve our national parks. If you like this video, then hit the like button and share this video. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And we'll see you on the next episode of America's National Parks Road Trip.